Hi everyone. In this video, we are going to go through the mock exam paper that you have done in class. This paper was actually an exam paper done by the primary threes last year. So as you are aware, and as you know, the exams for you this year has been cancelled. But it is still good to know where you are at in terms of what you have understood for the whole of this primary 3. So we're going to use this paper to find out and learn from your mistakes. Okay, so let's start. Now if you have questions you have gotten it wrong, do not just write the correct answers. You will also fill in the steps as well as the workings so that you can learn better. So let's start with question number 1. Now question number 1 is about place values. So you know your places well, then you are good. So they are asking the value of the digit 7. So when you look at 7, you're looking at the digit over at here. So what I've suggested in class is you can revise using your place value table, starting with the ones to the tens, the hundreds, as well as the thousands. So that's what you have been learning up to for this year. So when you put in the numbers 4, 7, 3, 1, 7 will lie in the hundreds place, right? So that would mean the answer is 700. So the answer is 3. Question number 2. 5,903. Now again, if you would like to, you can also continue with the place value chart. And one tip is to actually write them in short form. O for ones, T for tens, hundreds for H, as well as thousand, because it's another T, so we can put it as TH for thousands. So 5,000 will be 5 in the thousands place. 900 will be 9 in the hundreds place. Now 3 is just a letter 3 in the ones place. So if there is any space in between which is not filled up, you'll fill it with a placeholder called 0. So the answer for this case is 5903. So the answer for question 2 is 2. Now question number 3, it's about asking you to rearrange the numbers from the smallest to the biggest. Okay, now looking at the numbers, we'll start comparing from the left to the right. Okay, we're going to start off with the smallest number first. Now smallest numbers between 37 and 38. You can already tell that the smallest number cannot be 38. So what we're going to do is we're going to cancel off option 1 and option 2. So which will leave us with option 3 and 4. Alright, so let's continue to compare. 37 is the same number. So there's not much to compare. 3, 7, 8, 5 are all the same numbers. So there's nothing for us to compare. Now the next one. Let's move down. The numbers should get bigger and bigger. So now we are still looking for a small number. And it seems that we have gotten an answer already. Right? If you can tell, 5 and 7 in the tens place. 5 is the smaller one. 7 is bigger. So in this case, what do you think? Looking at these two numbers that are different. 5 should come first instead of 7, right? So the answer is option number 3. So as you can tell from my papers, you can take a look and see how workings are done for a math paper. It can be very, very full of workings. All right, a lot of steps that you need to do. It should not be just answers only. Now let's move on to question number 4. Now question number 4, 200 more than what number will give you 5,230? Okay, so they're asking for a number. You have a number here. Not too sure what the number is, but if you add 200 more to it, it's going to give you 5,230. So put it this way, they are actually asking you 200 and what number will give you 5,230. So in this case, the answer will be 5,030. Okay, because 5,030 plus 200 will give you back your 5,230, which is what you want. Right? So 5,230, this is what you want. So 200 and what number gives you 5,230? Okay. Now question number 5. Which of the following fraction is smaller than halved? Now halved is actually the same, if you remember, equivalent fractions is the same as 2 quarters. Right? Now half can also be, how did I get 2 quarters? Because I multiply it by 2. Now half can also be multiplied by 3, which will give you 3/6. Now of course you can go on and on because it's so fun, right? You can also multiply it by 4. It's going to give you 4/8. If you want to continue, of course you can. Alright, you can multiply it by 5 even. It's going to give you 5/10. So now take a look at all these fractions that I'm going to highlight. 2 quarters, 3/6, 4/8, as well as 5/10. Now all these are basically your halves, right? Because they were born from the halves that were originally 1/2. Okay, 2 quarters is the same as half, 3/6 is the same as half, 4/8 is the same as half, and 5/10 is also the same as half. So now we are going to look at a number that is smaller than all these numbers, all these fractions that you are seeing in green. Okay, let's start with looking at the first one, 7/12. Now 7/12, for us to get to a 12, what we can do is we multiply it by 6. We multiply it by 6. We are going to get 6/12. This is also another halves that we can get. Okay, now 6/12 compared to 7/12. Look at these two fractions here. The green one is in halves. 7/12 is bigger, right? So can it be smaller than halves? No, it cannot be. So we're going to cancel that out. Now what about 6/10? So we are going to look at the 6/10 over here, as well as the tens over here. 6/10 and 5/10. Remember, the 5/10 is the halves. 6/10, is it bigger or smaller than 5/10? It is bigger, right? So we also don't want that. We want something that's smaller. Now the next one, 3/8. 3/8, we compare it against the other 8, which is 4/8. Now 4/8 is our halves, right? Now 3/8 and 4/8. 4/8 is our halves. So 3/8, is it smaller than our halves over here? Yes, it is. So 3/8 will be the one that we are looking out for. The answer is 3. So you see there's a lot of steps in doing when it comes to doing maths. A lot of workings to be shown. So when I see you in primary 4, your papers cannot be blank. just answers. It cannot be, because you take a look at the amount of workings that we are doing. Question number 6. Which of the following is not equivalent to 2/3? So we do what we have been doing, 2/3. Alright, we can make an equal fraction out of it. We can multiply it. We get 4/6. We can also make it into times 3, right? We do that. That's also making an equal fraction. You get 6/9. We can also make the fraction into 4 times 4, right? We will get 8/12. Now you can go on and on. Of course, we are going to multiply it by 5. You get 10/15. So we can go on and on this way. So all these are your equivalent. I'm going to color it in green. These are all your equivalents of 2/3. It was born from 2/3. Alright, they are all equal to 2/3. So we're going to take a look at which one does not equal to 2/3. Okay, 6/9. Let's start with option number 1. 6/9 is already here. So it is already equivalent. We don't want that. We want things that is not equivalent. What about 8/12? Do you see 8/12 anywhere? Right, 8/12 is here. 8/12 is also here, right? So this must be equivalent. No, we don't want that. What about 9/12? Do you see any 9/12? Nope, we don't see any 9/12. So there we have it. We found the answer. Answer is number 3, because we cannot get 9/12 by multiplying at all. Okay, so that's for question number 6. Now we're going down to question number 7. What could be the height of a classroom door? Okay, now you have all seen our classroom door. Definitely taller than all of you here. Now, and you also know that when it comes to COVID-19, we always ask you all to keep 1 meter apart. Right? Now 1 meter apart is really about 1 arm's length. Okay? It's really about 1 arm's length. So if you look at the classroom door is probably about 2 to 3 arms length. Maybe it's about 3 meters, perhaps. Okay? Or 2 meters. 2 to 3 meters is about 2 arms or 3 arms tall. So we're going to take a look at all the answers that are not possible. Okay? 20 meters. Let's look at the most ridiculous answers. Okay? 20 meters is definitely out. That's way too high. So we cancel that. Alright, but of course in the paper you cancel it nicely. Option 4 is not correct. Now option 3, 20 cm. That's really bad. 20 centimeters is just like your ruler like that. So it cannot be option 3 as well. Now what about 200 meters? That's way too long, isn't it? 200 meters is like impossible. Okay, so the answer will be 200 centimeters. Now, in case you have forgotten, we learned this in primary 3. 1 meter is equals to 100 centimeters. If you remember, I talked about centimeters like centipede. Centipede has 100 legs, so that's why it's in 100. So 2 meters is about 200 centimeters. So 200 centimeters is the same as 2 meters. Okay? So now we are ready. We will go on to question number 8. Now question number 8 was very well done. All of you are very good at reading the time. Okay? Now the shorthand, we're going to focus on the shorthand first. I'm going to color it. The shorthand is the hour hand. Am I right? So the hour hand is between 11 and 12. Meaning to say it is not 12 o'clock yet. It is still 11 something. So we're going to cancel out option number 2 because it's not 12 o'clock yet. It can't be 5 o'clock. It can't be 6 o'clock. So very fast. You see our answers are already out. We don't even have to look at the minutes hand. We already know the answer. So remember, the shorthand is always the hour hand. Alright, please be very clear on that. Okay, Next, let's go down to question number 9. Now, question number 9 is about a girl, Nuru, who left the school at the time shown on the clock. Now, why don't we read the time over here? Let's start with the shorthand again. Now, the shorthand is between 3 and 4, right? So it's probably about 3 something. Let's see what time it is, okay? This is 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15, 20, 25. Remember our 5 times table, 30. And the minute hand stops at the minute 35. So this is 3:35. Is it in the afternoon or is it in the morning? Okay, it's in the afternoon lah. Why? Because you cannot be going home at 3 a.m. in the midnight. That's impossible. Right? 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Now let's continue reading the story. She reached 30 minutes later. So this is the time she left the school and she reached 30 minutes later. That means I want to see this time, 30 minutes later, how much or what time is it? Okay, now I'm going to use this question to revise on the timeline that we have learned before. So what we're going to do is we are going to see what the time is at the start. We want to know what is the time after 30 minutes. Okay, now we can start skipping a little bit. Let's skip a little bit. We can skip to 5 minutes first. Now, do you know why I skip to 5 minutes first? Because if I skip to 5 minutes, it's going to bring me to a nicer number, 3:40 p.m. Okay, now 3:40 p.m. that is not the time yet because I only passed the time 5 minutes. Now what I'm going to do from now is this. If you look at the minutes, it's 40 right now. So what I can do is I can skip another time and I'm going to this time round skip 20. Do you know why I skip 20? Because 40 plus 20, mental sum, gives me 60. Okay, so 60. This will bring me to another time called 4 o'clock. Okay, very nice bus stop. If you remember, I kept using this word bus stop because we want to always reach the nice hour. Okay, now all of you take a look. You have 5 minutes now. You have 20 minutes here. 5 minutes and 20 minutes is a total of 25 minutes. Are we there yet? No, we are not, because we still need to make sure that this person uses all the 30 minutes. So we are short of how many more minutes to go? We are short of 5 minutes. So this will bring us to 4 and a little bit more than 4, which is 4:05 p.m. So the answer in this case will be number 2. Okay, now question number 10. Question number 10 is about a boy called Justin. Now, Justin is 9 years old. His mother is 5 times as old. Wow. So, Justin is 9. The mother is 5 times. So, we're going to multiply this by 5. Now, if your mental sum is good, 9 times 5 will give us 45. Now, what is the meaning of 45? Who does 45 mean? 45 is the mother, right? The mother is, of course, got to be older, right? The mother is 45. Now, how old will Justin's mother be? Okay, I'm reading the story. How old will Justin's mother be in 4 years' time? Now, 4 years' time, the mom is going to be older. Am I right? So she's no longer going to be 45. She's definitely going to be older. 4 years later, she will celebrate 4 years more birthday, four more birthdays. So I plus 4 because she's going to get older. Right? Now, 45 plus 4, if you can do your mental sum, of course, that's great. If you can't, you can always do your workings. And the answer is 49. So that's the answer for question number 10. Okay? Now, we're going to the next question already, question 11. Now, make sure that you are feeling energetic. If the video has made you tired, and restless, feel free to pause the video, come back, take a bit of break, then come back so that you are able to understand the video with your full energy. Now, question number 11 is about bar graphs. Okay, we have learned bar graphs. And the first most important thing that we need to know is to make sure we know how to write the numbers on the graph. Okay, now remember the 3 steps that we are supposed to do: putting a ruler, draw a line on it, and then read off the numbers. So I do not have a ruler here with me now, but I'm going to try to trace the line to where the numbers are. Okay, now the numbers for Monday can be a little bit challenging. It is between 200 and 175. So there's actually a trick to do it. Alright, what is the trick? The trick is this: if I add the top number 200 with the bottom number 150, let me add first, I will get 350, right? Now if I halve this 350, that means I do a divide by 2. I will be able to get the number in between. Okay, so I repeat the step again. You take the upper number and the lower number, you add them up, and then you halve it because you want a center, right? You halve it, you divide it by 2. Once you have the number, that number will also be the number in between. So I do a very quick division, and I found out that it is 175. So this number in the middle is 175. Now Tuesday will be 250. Right, quite straightforward because the numbers are already there. Now what about Wednesday? Wednesday will be somewhere around here, which is 150. And the last one will be Thursday. Now Thursday again can be a little tricky because it is in the middle of the graph again. So remember the method that I taught you. Take the upper number. In this case, the upper number is 100. The lower number is 50. It's between these 2 numbers, right? So you take these 2 numbers, you add them up together. And then remember what is the next step after you add them up? You divide them by 2 to find the center number. Okay? So if you divide them by 2 and you find the center number, you will get this 75 as the answer. So 75 will be the middle number. Okay, now we are ready to answer some questions with all the numbers in our graph. Question 11. How many fewer books were sold on Thursday? Now Thursday is 75, right? Remember all our workings that we have been doing for bar graphs? Whenever you have a number or you have an important word, you will highlight the word and you will write down the number. So same goes here. Tuesday will be 250. So the question is asking how many fewer books. So you can actually find the difference between the 2. So if I subtract the big number with a small number, then I will be able to know the fewer books by how many. So I'm going to do this: 250 minus 75. Okay, I'm taking the difference between the 2. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do a bit of subtractions over here. I get 14 minus 7 is 75. 1 is still left. And there I have it. The answer is 175. Now, just so you see, question 11, look at the amount of workings that we have just done. Okay, so in mathematics, there is really a lot of hard work when it comes to all the workings that you need to do. Question number 12. Question number 12 is about finding the area. Now remember, area is taken by something times something, which is length times your breadth. Okay, so if you can remember the example that we did in HBL, area is about counting the number of tables, right? So if the length is 3, the breadth is 2, area will be 3 times 2 equals to 6. So without counting the table 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you can just take 3 times 2 equals to 6. So we are taking the length times the breadth. Now same here, to find the area, we will do a length times the breadth. Okay, now they are all the same rectangles over here. So if the length is 6, that means this one must also be 6, right? So shall we start looking at one of the rectangle here first? Let me focus on the first rectangle, this rectangle here. So you can see I've colored this rectangle in green. The rectangle here, 6 is the length, 2 is the breadth. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the length times the breadth. 6 times 2. Now it's going to give me 12, right? Now 12 is the area, but that's only for one rectangle. So for me to find 2 rectangles, what I can do is just multiply it by 2. I will be able to get the area for these 2 rectangles. So the answer in this case is 3. So far, I hope you are paying attention and you know what we have been doing for this whole year so far. Alright, now 3 more questions to go and we are done with section number A. Question number 13. Now, a bag costs $57. Wow, so expensive. Okay, our bags are not that expensive at all. Now, this it over here, now let me read this word it. Do you remember what this it means? This it refers to the bag. So every time when we see this word it, we don't like it. We want to change it to proper English. The bag costs 3 times as much as a shirt. Now, over here, my question will be this. You have a bag, you have a shirt. Which one is more expensive? It's got to be the bag, right? Because the bag is 3 times compared to the shirt. So the shirt is cheaper. Now, if I can draw a model, this is how it looks like. I have a bag and I have a shirt. The bag is 3 times, that means 3 boxes. And the shirt is only 1 box. Okay, now the bag, if you take a look, is written in the story as $57. The 3 boxes are actually worth $57. So my question would be, do you think you know how to find one of the box? There are 3 boxes. 3 boxes share together $57. Can you find 1 box? Okay, so what I can do is I take a 57. Let me divide it by 3 first. Why I divide by 3? Because the 3 boxes, the 3 units, actually combine to make 57. So what I'm doing here is I'm trying to divide them by 3 to find 1 box. So I'm going to take a 57 and divide it by 3 to see the division. 27. Okay, 27 divided by 3 will be 9. And I have a very nice number, 19. Now, what is the meaning of 19? 19 just means this box is 19. This box is also 19. This box is also 19. And the box below is also 19. Okay? Now, you see on the model, there are a total of 4 boxes. Am I right? So the question is asking what is the total cost of everything, which means to ask what is the total cost of these 4 boxes. So since you know 1 box is 19 and all together there are all together 4 boxes, why don't we just times it by 4? Then we will be able to find the total, right? So 19, we're going to multiply it by 4. 9 times 4, 36. Okay, and the answer here is 76. option number 2. Okay, now question number 14. This is a real story, especially when you go to the canteen and you're thinking of buying food and you only have some money left. What can you buy or how much you can buy? Okay, now Milo is 90 cents. It's the same as our school canteen. The sandwich is $2. Okay, so you have a Milo. This Milo is 90 cents. And then you have got a sandwich. Okay, I can't really draw a sandwich. It's $2. Now, what this girl, Lena, did was she bought a cup of Milo. A cup of Milo means 1 cup, 90 cents. And she bought some sandwiches for and a cup of Milo for $6.90. Okay, that means she bought a Milo and some sandwiches. I don't know how many sandwiches, but the total is $6.90. Okay, 1 Milo and some sandwiches, and it's a total of $6.90. So the question will be, how many sandwiches did this girl buy? Okay, now $6.90. What we can do, why don't we just find out all the sandwiches first without the Milo? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take $6.90 minus away the Milo. Now why do I do that? Because I don't want the Milo to be counted anymore. I just want to see how many sandwich I can buy, right? So I take away the Milo, 90 cents. And mental sum tells me $6.90 minus 90 cents will give me $6. Okay, now $6 is for the sandwiches. Now the question says each sandwich is $2. And you paid $6 for some sandwiches. How many sandwiches do you think you can buy with $6? $2, $2, $2. How many is that? You can buy 3 of it, right? So the answer will be 3. Okay, because 3 sandwiches will be $6 in total. Now our last question already. Question number 15. Mr. Lim bought 6 packets of balloons. Now, all of you have seen balloons put in packets before, right? Before you blow it, you know, when you buy a packet of balloon, inside there's a lot of balloons. So 6 packets, each packet has 30 balloons. Now, when we read the story like this, we can already find out some things, right? 1 packet is 30 balloons. 6 packets will be 6 times 30. Right, we can find out already what is the total balloons we have. Each packet is 30, 6 packet is 6 times 30. So we do a multiplication here. 0 times 6 is 0, 3 times 6 is 18. Now this person bought so many balloons, 180. Now he gave 4 balloons to every child. And after that, there were no balloons left. Now, no balloons left means no remainder. Okay, so we're going to try to divide this 180. She shares. Why do I divide? Because they are sharing it with 4 balloons, okay, per child. So each person gets 4. So 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. We are trying to see how many groups of 4 we can get. 180, we try to divide it by 4. All right, so what we'll do our division here. We'll try to see how many 4s we can get. Okay, and we have a total of 45. Do we have a 45 in our answer? Yes, we do. So the answer is option number 4. All right, so with that, we have come to the end of the MCQ, question 1 to question 15. So I hope you have learned something from this video. It can be a bit long, but I hope you have learned something out from this video. And we'll see you again in the next video for the next section of this paper. Goodbye.